Welcome back. You're watching DXB today, still in conversation with people who have a keen eye for art. Now, with us now is the Managing Director of Studio Mishari, AlNassar. Please welcome to the show, Mishari AlAwadhi. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Now, I understand that your studio started in Kuwait and now you've expanded to Dubai. What inspired this move?
I mean, I think for us, so my business partner and founder, Mishari, AlNassar, we share the same name, which comes up a lot. Started basically because he wanted to see more of our roots represented in the design scene. So he started the firm as an interior design firm based out of Kuwait, he himself being Kuwaiti. And then over time, he studied in the UAE, and I think he had a connection to Dubai that he just felt there was so much more opportunity for growth here. What the Dubai scene is doing for design is incredible. So there was a big decision to kind of grow the business, and that was to come and launch an office in Dubai, which we did 3 years ago. We launched out as City Walk, and it's been an amazing roller coaster of 3 years, to the point now that we're relocating our offices to Al Sirkal Avenue at the end of the month, hopefully. So yeah, it's been an amazing decision to just kind of expand into a more multicultural society and kind of make sure that local designers are represented and our aesthetic is present in the GCC.
And as a designer and architect, you know, working in a region where heritage and modernity coexist so seamlessly, how do you integrate cultural identity with contemporary design?
Yeah, so for us, it's always an honest approach. We always take clients when they come to us. As a studio, we pride ourselves on both of us being from Kuwaiti background. As I said, there was a need for us to, we always noticed in the past that we were importing a lot of ideas and not allowing like our local culture to kind of nurture over time. So for us, when clients come in, we always kind of start with like, what are the roots, what is going on locally, and how do we want to be represented in terms of, as you said, the rooted heritage side of things, but then there's also a new modern way of living and a contemporary lifestyle we want to have. So that's always the foundation point for us, is how do we aesthetically pay homage to our roots, our traditions, but also our lifestyles. It's not always just about an external aesthetic, it's how the house operates in a different culture.
And do you find that tricky to do, or is it
I mean,
natural?
at the start it was a challenge in terms of trying to understand how social spaces are different compared to like the West world. For us, obviously, we've grown up with it, but then having like studied in the UK and been exposed to traveling and all the international kind of standards, for us, it's always like, well, you're back home, and how is our lifestyle going to be complemented with these contemporary designs, these contemporary ideas, but they should function for us. How we work as a society, how we work culturally, the ins and outs of the services of the home. So that's always kind of a driving point for us, to make sure that the home functions for whoever it is who's working with us and designing and collaborating with us, that it's a piece of design for them specifically.
Well, as someone who moved your operations here to the UAE, it must give you a lot of confidence to see festivals like Sikka, like Art Fest, like the stuff happening at Al Quds, Ras Al Khaimah, Abu Dhabi.
100%.
I mean, are people like you, practitioners, seeing these events cropping up more and thinking the market's strong?
Yeah, in all honesty, the last few years, the boom of the like design scene and all these different festivals, as you're saying, for us, we see as a massive positive in terms of the impact it's having on raising awareness to clients. Clients are far more switched on, they know what they want, they're exposed to more design elements. But I think what's great about the festivals and all these things that are coming in, it's starting to platform local talent. It's starting to allow young designers to see that this is something I want to pursue, whereas before we weren't exposed to it, so therefore it was far more challenging. But now that there's that exposure, there's this drive from younger generations that are like, this is something I want to pursue, I want to be represented, and these festivals are an amazing way to platform them, not just locally, but also on an international scale for us, which is a huge positive.
And at home as well. It's no longer a crazy Western idea. You'll never be a designer. It's becoming more part of the society.
100%. We've got great local talents, and I think the most exciting part for me is to see that because these festivals are coming up now, it's what the impact is going to be 20, 30 years from now. What are the younger generation who attend these events on a yearly basis and get it's inspired by all the things going on around them, what they're going to create in 10, 15 years from now. Having this kind of support system and these platforms really encouraging them to move in this direction.
It is really very exciting.
Yeah, I could see you being a very astute mentor to people, actually. the way you are and handle yourself in that sense, because you're very experienced in this space. So how would you define creativity with business? Because you've got this, you know what I mean? You have to make money, right?
True.
But then you've got this creativity and you're a creative at heart.
Yeah, they always say the designer is the struggling artist. So you have, and in our industry, a lot of people do suffer for their creativity. There's always a challenge when it comes to business and creativity. For us, there's hard lessons you learn. There's times where, yes, you're a designer, but sometimes you have to put on a different hat and you have to be a financier. Sometimes you have to put on a different hat and you have to be the marketing guru. I have the fortunate circumstance that my business partner is kind of the creative social media brain, and I am the finance brain, and we coupled ourselves together to be one whole brain. So for us, we found a strategy that sometimes, a lot of the times, people try and do something solo. We found our strength in coupling together. He's a pure interior designer. I'm an architect from foundation, so we kind of complement each other in how we have such varied differences of experience, but coming together makes our business so much stronger, and it's something that we love doing in terms of we challenge each other on everything. For people doing it as business, at the end of the day, as you said, there's business and there's creativity. There's always a fine balance, and everyone has their own way of finding that balance. It's a challenge for sure.
Mishari, I've been dying to ask you this question. I'm not an artist or an interior designer, but I absolutely love interiors and aesthetics in particular. My Instagram feed is full of women assembling an IKEA bookshelf or like from scratch. That's how much I enjoy watching a lot of these DIY videos. My question to you is, from a design perspective, what would you say are some of the trends that are in and some of the trends that are for the past?
So trends that we saw that are kind of like slowly moving out now, I'd say are the wabi-sabi kind of beige on beige aesthetics. It was a very big movement for a time, and I think the hyper minimalism side of life is people are kind of over that trend and they're moving into more complexity. They want more layering. So we're moving into what we're predicting is more maximalism.
We need to redo the studio, I think.
Yes.
give me a call, you know where to find us.
I heard a new term again on Instagram, sorry about that, called minimalism, where it's not quite minimalistic, it's not quite maximalistic, it's like a happy middle ground.
Medium. Yeah, so we get different names for it. There's minimalism and there's also soft maximalism. So you're not going to the extreme end where everything is so overwhelming. It's kind of a softness in it and that it's layered. The beauty we see in terms of how our clients are currently moving towards the maximalism side of things is it's bringing out more personality. Whereas what we found before in terms of, there's nothing wrong with having like Japanese hyper simplistic spaces. Sometimes that's what people are actually like in life and that's how they want their home to operate. But then this trend built up where some people were doing it for the sake of the trend. And they didn't do it for the fact that like, this is how I actually want to live. Whereas I think now people are far more aware of how they actually want to be. And it is kind of a result of being exposed to Pinterest and Instagram and seeing all these different opportunities of what design actually is, that like, okay, I don't have to follow this trend. I can actually have this piece or I can have that part and I can bring these components together. I can layer things in different ways. So people are far more aware, and it's like the festivals that kind of do that as well. Educate people, put them on a platform, expose them to the world, but then our clients now are far more switched on and they challenge us in all kinds of ways.
I think you're going to be getting a lot of calls from a lot of clients after this.
We'll complain.
Thank you so much, Jerry. It's been a pleasure having you here.
Pleasure.
And we'll see you maybe at the Sicker Art Festival.
I hope so.
Cool.
But before we properly say goodbye, we are going to put our guest co-host Aisha on the spot with a quick fire round DXB in 60, but all the questions are going to be about you. I want to get to know you as quickly as possible in the time we have left. And in 3, 2, 1, what word comes to mind when you think of Sicker?
Design.
Perfect. Emerging talent that you think we should watch out for?
Omar Al-Gurg.
Your favorite design piece in your home?
My home. Can I say artwork?
Yeah.
Okay. I have these beautiful pieces by a Pakistani artist.
Beautiful. What is the first thing you notice when you walk into a space?
The color palette.
What instantly feels editorial worthy to you?
The feel of a room.
A material you're loving right now?
Feathers.
Timeless design or bold experimentation?
Bold experimentation. For sure.
And what makes you stop and look twice at a piece?
The color.
Okay. What's one design detail that you never ignore? The color.
The geometry. Yeah.
And one place in Dubai we should all visit for its decor and design, whether it's a hotel, cafe.
Oh, that's a tough one. There's so many places. The Future Museum.
Museum of the
Yeah,
Future,
yeah,
we love it
Museum
there.
of the Future, yeah.
And final
The
question,
calligraphy.
why Dubai for you?
Because of the multiculturalism. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an amazing episode. And of course, Mishari,
Thank you for
thank you
having
so
me.
much for joining us once
Thank you
again.
so much.
Thank
for
you so
having
much. You must absolutely come back. I didn't even get to ask you if the millennial grey is ever going to make a comeback in design, but we leave that for another day.
me. Sounds good.
Thank you so much. And of course, thank you so much for
Thank you
sticking
so
with us
much.
throughout the show. It's been an absolute pleasure.